Good morning, students. Today I discuss the topic of different type of stitches. Now we all now how many type of stitches used in a clothing? So embroidery, other like a garment, denim, kurta, jacket, etc. Now I'm sharing a PPT discuss about the different type of stitches. The hand stitches are very much useful even when you are about the best sewing machine. There are a different type of stitches by the hand. Sometime for the better look of the garment, such as a seaming stitches, which might not work well on a sewing machine. When come with some use of a different type of stitches by a hand. So another usually use stitching in a back stitch. The back stitch is the strongest among the type of hand stitches, which are the most adoptable and the permanent hand stitches. It is also a bulk-free replacement for the beginnings and the ending of the hand seams. So various type of hand stitches are used for a variety of purpose, such as the stitches seams and other cast the hemming garments, etc. So let's get into the basic type of hand stitches. So basic type of hand stitching and different type of stitching. Hand stitching, you can see the pictures: running stitch, hemming stitch, basting stitch, cat stitch, slip stitch, and back stitch, and over stitch, and also invisible stitches. So many home swing and custom-made costumes garments continue to have the type of hand stitches used to permanently as a finishing technique. So hemming, securing, fastening, etc. So now and understanding the proper type of stitches to use in important to the item appearance. Next, straight running stitch. So straight running stitch, the running stitch is the most basic of the hand swing stitches. It has a many variation according to the requirements. So usually use the straight running stitch, gathering, mending, tucking. So process is insert your thread needle from the wrong side upward and insert it down into the fabric according to the mark design. So bring the thread back up and repeat it. You can see the picture of straight running stitch. Next, basting tucking stitch. So it is the same as the running stitch, but with the longer stitch between 1/4 and a 1/2. You not between the 1/2 to 1/1, only for between 1/4 inches to 1/2 inches. You can do it straight also instead of the slanting as in a running stitch. So usually use a tacking holding seams can be used as a temporary stitching. So process: piece your thread needle from the wrong side upward and piece it down into the fabric according to the mark design with the longer stitches up to 1/4 inches to 1/2 inches. So bring the thread back up and repeating. So today we tend to pin baste more than hand basted our garment and projects, but the hand basting can still be used for actually with the both lightweight like a silk and chiffon, and also a heavy fabric like leather and wools. You can see the picture of basting tacking stitch. Next, back stitch. A back stitch is a hand swing back stitch. Is the strong, reliable stitch before a swing machine. All clothing were built by a layer upon a layer of a back stitch. So usually use a attached fabric, outline shape of embroidery design, and processes working from left to right. Take a small stitch, then insert the needle at the end of the previous stitches and bring it out beyond the point where the thread emerge. So continuing, always insert the needle at the end of the previous stitches. You can see the picture of back stitch. Next, casting cross stitch. Both are same stitches, and you can use the stitches to finish hem with fabric that does not fray and to tack facing invisibility. Usually use a hem seam allowances like lining garment. You can see also lining garment, and process working from left to right and take it in a stitch on the hem and take a in a stitch on the garment. So they will appear as a cross on the wrong side. You can see the picture. They will appear as a wrong cross cross on the wrong sides and small stitching on the right as is seen in this picture. Next, slip stitch, blind stitch. Both are same. This is the most used stitch for hem and other finishing. It almost invisible and clean when it's done right. Usually use join two pieces with the stitch thread being a visible. Hem or processes bring the needle through the fold of the hem and pick up a thread of fabric at the same point. So make the stitch about the 1/2 inches, 1/2 inches apart and fairly loose. So slip stitch is a commonly hem stitch and used in when you do not want visibles. Next is blanket stitch, buttonhole stitch, both are same. And if you want to see eyelets or buttonhole by hand, learn the buttonhole stitches. Usually use enclose the raw edges of the heavy fabric decorative stitches. So process is secured the thread on the wrong side of the fabric. Insert the needle from the back to front. So through the back is a 1/8 inches from the edge, not over 1/8 between, only for 1/8 inches from the edge. So wrap the working head around the behind the eye end of the needle. So then the behind the pointing. So pull the needle through the bring the knot to the fabric edges. So continuing making a closely space between and knotting. So eyelets variations is a working in a circle with the wrap edges in the side. The blanket stitch variations has at least 1/4 inches. 1/4 inches spacing between in the stitches. You can see. Next, felt stitch is also known as applique stitches, applique work, which is the one laying of fabric, generally a folder or salvages and edges. That is a stitch to another. It is quick, strong, and flexible. The piece swing on with the felt stitch can move somewhat like a that make a good from the steam line. So usually use a pleat seams, swing lace, either as a pleat or applique work and applique seams also. So stitches themselves typically sit in 90 degree to the edges, or they can be angled slightly. So process is folding edges, and the stitch should be about 1 meter away from the folded, and run it diagonally so that it beyond the first stitch. So also insert the needle directly into the fabric next to the fold. So pull the stitch closely and swing the stitch between 1/8 to 1/4 inches apart. You can see the picture of fat stitches. Next, overcast stitches. Overcast stitches is the one of a several type of hand stitches. The purpose is to be prevalent the unraveling of the fabric. So usually enclose the raw edges of the fabric. You can see the raw edges. Next, whip stitches. Whip stitches. The whip stitches is a simple use in both swing and crocheting. Usually use quilting, applique work, crocheting, and closing the side of pillows, and also you can use side of cushions also, and making a jean garment, so hemming the side of the carpet also. So in both practicing, it is usually use a swing together to separate pieces of the material with the flat edges. When used on the crocheting work, so whip stitches is nearly invisible. For a swing work, as a swing work, the stitches is a more visible. So, but ma can be a masked. You can see the whip stitch. Okay, thank you, students. Hope you are all understand in this topic. Thank you so much. See you soon next time.